What's going on, you guys? So today we're going to be talking about how to date a high quality woman. Now previously I've talked about how to meet a high quality woman, but now I'm going to be talking about how to actually date that person. Okay, and please concentrate on what I'm saying. I know my shirt, I don't know why I picked this thing out. I look like the carpet of a Vegas casino, but we'll keep going. Anyway, so this is something that I'm going to be going over more in depth on. I'm going to be talking about the questions that you need to ask yourself to really be able to date this kind of person. I know for a lot of people it can be very, very intimidating, especially because usually the first high quality girl a guy meets, he tries to date and marry them, and a lot of times if the guy's never dated this kind of girl before, he doesn't know what to do. It usually ends in tragedy, he gets heartbroken or whatever. You hear about these stories happening all the time, even in marriages too. And sometimes guys, they end up settling for the girl who's not a high quality woman, and I don't want that to happen to any of you. So what I'm going to be talking about in this video is how to basically make sure that you're the kind of guy that she wants to date. Now this is just going to be the tip of the iceberg. I'm going to be going over more in depth on this in my workshop on Friday, but hopefully in 5 minutes I can give you kind of a more, I guess, a brief sneak peek into what you need to start doing. But again, this is going to be going over much more in depth on Friday, where I have a lot more time to talk about it. Okay, so let's talk about the first question that you need to start asking yourself. Okay, so the first question that you need to ask yourself is, what is a high quality woman for you? Okay, it's different for everybody. And a lot of times guys just think, oh, just a girl who's hot, or a girl who knows how to take care of herself and all that stuff. Okay, yes, high quality women tend to be more desired by a lot of different men, but you might have different individual preferences. Don't just go over which woman has the most followers on Instagram. I can assure you that just because she has a lot of followers on Instagram does not mean she's high quality. I mean, considering my dating history, honestly, sometimes if a girl has a lot of followers, that's almost a red flag for me, okay? So think about the quality woman that you're looking for. What does she look like? What does she smell like? What does she do? How does she talk? How does she make you feel? Those kinds of things. So focus on those aspects of it, and if you have a clear picture of what you're trying to get to, then you can get to it. But if you have no idea what a high quality woman looks like, then you're never going to be able to get there, okay? If you don't know the end goal of your path, then it's going to be very difficult to walk that path in the first place. So think about the high quality woman that you're looking for. What kind of qualities does she possess? And above all, write down things that are not associated, that are not easily replaceable, those kinds of things. Okay, so write down your criteria, whatever they are, and then I want you to take a look at this list, and this is going to be the hardest part. Okay, I want you to list all of the qualities that you wrote down that you yourself possess. Okay, if you're looking for a certain kind of woman who has qualities and you don't possess any of those qualities, you're not going to be dating that woman, okay? Unless you make some serious changes, it's just not going to happen, okay? So I could walk you through how to make those changes and be that kind of man if you want to date those kinds of women. But it really takes you need to take a hard look at yourself, and sometimes you can't even answer these questions correctly yourself. That's why I recommend getting a coach, or I recommend if you can't get a coach, get somebody else, or someone who can really look at you and give you honest feedback on what you got and what your mate value is. You need someone to look at you and tell you this. What can you offer a woman who's high quality? What kind of guy are you? And sometimes when you ask your friends or your family, they don't want to hurt your feelings or anything, so you need to find someone who's really going to give you that honest, critical feedback. And so once you've looked at that, you look at what you have and what you don't have, then now you know the things that you need to get. And sometimes you don't always have to have, if you're looking for a super model type looking girl, you don't have to have model looks, but you might want to be able to compensate it in other ways, okay? Maybe you're a really driven person. You can provide a certain lifestyle for them. A lot of women are looking for that kind of lifestyle. If you're not rich or you don't plan on being rich, you don't really have to be, but if, for certain kinds of guys that do really well with high quality women that aren't rich or whatever, I find like a surfer kind of guy, for example, they tend to do very well with women. And it's because the lifestyle there, it's very relaxing. She can picture herself waking up at the beach every day and just living a carefree life. So sometimes those guys do pretty well too. But also, just who you are at personality-wise. Like, if you're a person who's charismatic, if you're a person who's fun, if you're a person who hanging out with you is a really enjoyable experience, those are other ways that you can make it up. I teach you how to have game, and I teach you how to have all those different types of things on this channel. But again, it comes from an honest look at yourself and who you are, and do you possess the qualities that high-quality woman is looking for, okay? And if you don't, then you really have to work on yourself and make sure that that you have those qualities. Now, you're going to look at yourself and you're going to think, oh, I have to become somebody completely different. Okay, that's not what I want you to do. You might want to reassess the kind of woman that you're going for if she's nothing like you. If she's nothing like you, it's going to be very difficult to get to that point. I would go for women, go for like the highest quality women that you can get with the strengths that you have. So I teach people how to utilize their strengths and weaknesses, and I give them an honest appraisal of them. So what I would recommend that you guys do is make sure that you kind of go for the kinds of women that are going to value those strengths. Okay, and again, this is something that I go more in depth on in my programs and stuff. But think about while you're watching this video, what kinds of stuff do I have? Where are my strong places? Where have I historically done very, very well with women? What kinds of situations was I in? Were you teaching, I don't know, it could be like you were a camp counselor or something like that. You were in a position of authority, or you were showing somebody something or teaching something. Maybe you organized a party. I don't know, whatever it was. But if whatever it was, try and think of those types of things, those strengths that you possess. And that's really how you date a high quality woman, is by possessing those qualities that she's looking for. And if you show those qualities and demonstrate to them, she's going to want to stay with you. But if you are insecure about things, if you start getting needy and not playing into your strengths, then it's going to be a lot harder for you to keep that kind of woman. So that would be my recommendation for you guys. Again, if you're interested to join this workshop this Friday, it's going to be Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The link is in the description box below. Click on it, fill out the survey, and I'll send you the payment link. Thanks a lot, you guys. Good luck out there.